You're not broke because you're stupid with money. You're stuck because you're using a system that was built for people with stable paychecks. If your income jumps around, you know the cycle. One month you feel rich, the next you're anxious, refreshing your banking app every few hours. Traditional budgets assume the same number hits your account on the same day every month. That's not your world. So in this video, you'll learn a simple way to pay yourself a stable salary from unstable income using something I call the capital buffer system. Section 1, decode the psychology and math of unstable income. Let's start with why unstable income feels so terrible, even when the totals aren't that bad. The problem isn't only how much you earn, it's the uncertainty multiplier. Your brain hates not knowing. When you don't know if next month is a feast or a famine, every bill feels heavier. That constant "what if" running in the background is what I call the stress tax. It drains your focus, your patience, and your decision-making. So what happens? On a big month, that stress finally drops. You feel safe for the first time in weeks. And because your brain wants relief, you overspend. You treat that spike as proof that things are back to normal. That's mental accounting. Your money isn't just numbers, your brain puts it into stories and buckets. This month is good, I can relax. Last month was bad, I'm failing. You respond to the story, not the math. In feast months, you upgrade everything. Food, nights out, subscriptions, gadgets. In famine months, you slam on the brakes, underinvest, and sometimes even wreck opportunities because you're panicked. You swing between "I deserve this" and "I need to suffer to catch up." Now add this to the mix. Your bills are fixed, your income is not. Rent doesn't care if your clients went quiet. Debt payments don't care if your sales dipped. That mismatch creates low-level panic that never fully turns off. You start making short-term choices just to calm today's fear, even if they hurt your future. The thing most people miss is this. You've merged two roles into one. You, the worker, goes out and earns money. You, the CFO, is supposed to manage that money and protect your lifestyle. But right now, those roles are fused. Every time your income jumps, your lifestyle reacts instantly. We need to split those roles. Worker, you can have wild income swings. CFO, you must be boring, predictable, almost robotic. That's how businesses do it, and your life needs the same structure. So, let's talk about the math without any complex numbers. Over a year, you have high months, low months, and average months. If you smooth that line out, there's a realistic average your income tends to orbit around. The mistake is living as if every month will match your best month. Another trap is thinking purely in months. When you're on a salary, months make sense. With variable income, it's more useful to think in cycles and buffers. Cycles are the patterns: busy season, slow season, launch, downtime. Buffers are the shock absorbers that sit between chaos and your day-to-day life. So your real goal isn't to force your income to become stable. That's outside your control. Your goal is to stabilize the cash flow that reaches your actual lifestyle. You want wild income on one side, calm, predictable paycheck on the other, and a buffer in between. Common mistakes? First, budgeting off your best month and calling it your new normal. That's how lifestyle creep destroys you. Second, using credit cards or loans as a fake buffer. It feels like stability, but it's just borrowing from your future stress. Once you understand this psychology and basic math, you're ready to design a system that ignores the chaos and pays you like a boring, predictable employee, even when your income is anything but. Section 2, build your capital buffer system, step by step. Now that you see the problem, let's build the system that fixes it. You're going to start running your money like a small business. Not in a complicated way, but in one key sense. The business can have crazy revenue, but the owner still takes a boring, predictable salary. That's what we're copying. In this system, there are 4 main buckets. Bucket 1 is your income hub. This is where all money lands first. Clients pay you, it hits the hub. Side gig, hub. Refund, hub. It's just a holding area, not where you live from. Bucket 2 is your buffer. This is the shock absorber. Money moves from the hub into the buffer, and the buffer's job is to smooth out the highs and lows before anything touches your lifestyle. Bucket 3 is your personal salary account. This is where your fake paycheck shows up. This account pays your rent, food, transport, basics, and some fun. Think of it as your stable little island. Bucket 4 is growth or goals. This is where money goes for paying down debt, investing in skills, building savings, tools for your work, big purchases, and longer-term wealth moves. The flow is simple. All income hits the income hub. From there, you move money into the buffer. From the buffer, a fixed salary flows to your personal account on a set schedule. Surplus above your buffer target spills over into growth and goals. So how do you set this up in real life? Step 1. Calculate a realistic baseline lifestyle cost. Not your dream life, not your punishment life. Your current, sane version. List your non-negotiable basics: housing, food at a normal level, utilities, transport, minimum debt payments, phone, basic insurance, and a small but honest amount for fun and social life. You're not trying to impress anyone here. You're asking, what does it cost to live a decent, low-stress month? This is your baseline lifestyle number. Step 2. Choose a conservative salary number below what you think your average income is. If you have no clue what your average is, look back at the last 6 to 12 months and mentally slice off the top spikes. Aim low at first. You want a number that your income can usually support, not your ego. This is the amount your personal salary account will receive on a fixed schedule, like the 1st and 15th or once a month. Start smaller than you'd like. You can always raise it later. Step 3. Set a buffer target. Think in terms of months of salary. For example, you might decide your buffer should eventually cover 3 months of your chosen salary. The exact number isn't magic. The point is to have a clear, concrete target that means if my income vanished for a bit, my life keeps going. The buffer is the shock absorber. On high-income months, extra money flows into the buffer. On low-income months, you don't cut your lifestyle first. The buffer quietly takes the hit. Your day-to-day life still gets the same salary. Now, what does this look like in practice? In a high-income month, everything still lands in the income hub. Then you move over your normal salary from the buffer to your personal account as usual. The extra in the hub goes first to filling the buffer up toward your target. Once the buffer is full, only then does extra start flowing to growth and goals. Not to a bigger apartment, not to a fancier car. In a low-income month, all income still hits the hub, but it might not be enough to cover your usual salary. That's fine. Your buffer tops it up. Your life doesn't feel the dip. The only thing that changes is the buffer number, not your rent money. To make this work, you need to understand fixed versus variable expenses. Fixed are things you must pay every month to keep your life stable. Rent, utilities, food at a normal level, minimum debt, basic phone, and internet. Variable is everything you can flex. Upgrades, nicer restaurants, travel, extra subscriptions, gifts, impulse buys. Your salary should fully cover the fixed essentials and a controlled amount of regular fun. Big flex items should only be funded when the buffer is healthy and your growth or goals bucket has money specifically set aside. That way you don't confuse "I feel rich today" with "I can sustain this." Now, what if you're already behind, in debt, or constantly overdrafting? You don't wait for a perfect moment. You start with a micro buffer. Maybe your first goal is just half a month of salary. You cut to survival mode temporarily, shrink your baseline, and focus on getting one tiny layer of buffer in place. Consistency beats size here. If your income is extremely volatile, you adjust the dials. Lower the salary even more. Extend the buffer target to cover more months. Add an emergency line inside the buffer rules so you don't drain it for non-urgent stuff. You're buying more runway for chaos. Once a quarter, you put on your CFO hat and review. Look at what actually came in, how often you hit or missed your salary, and where you felt squeezed. Then you can slowly raise or lower your salary, change your buffer target, or tighten your rules. No emotional decisions mid-panic. You only change the system on schedule. Common mistakes here: moving money manually with no written rules, rating the buffer for lifestyle upgrades, or raising your lifestyle every time you have a good streak. The system dies the moment your lifestyle starts chasing your best month again. When this capital buffer system is in place, the chaos doesn't go away, but it's trapped on the business side of the wall. Your actual life starts to feel calm, even if your income is still wild. Section 3. Turn volatility into a strategic advantage. Now that your lifestyle is insulated, volatility stops being pure stress and starts becoming leverage. Before the buffer, every extra dollar felt like air you needed to breathe. After the buffer, extra dollars become options. That's a huge shift. The mental move here is simple. You stop thinking, I need a raise, and start thinking, I need a stronger system and better upside bets. Income becomes something you design around, not something you chase blindly. When your personal salary is stable, you can say yes to higher variance opportunities without risking your rent money. That might be taking a project that pays more but pays later, trying a new client type, or building a product that doesn't pay off this month. Your bills are not on the line. The buffer absorbs timing risk. To keep this from turning into chaos again, you need clear rules for upside money. This is what happens when income is far above normal. Here's a simple structure. First, any money needed to keep your buffer at or above target goes there, no questions asked. That's your safety. Second, anything above the buffer target gets split by rule, not by mood. Common options: paying down high-interest debt, investing in your skills, upgrading tools that directly increase your earning power, or building an opportunity fund. The opportunity fund is key. It's a separate pool, not regular savings. Its only job is to let you move fast on things that could grow your income or freedom: a course, a short-term partnership, testing ads, a conference, or taking a month to build something new. Because it's pre-labeled for opportunity, you don't feel guilty using it, and you don't freeze every time a chance shows up. Now let's talk forecasting. You don't need complex spreadsheets. Just look back at the last 6 to 12 months and ask, were there clear busy seasons, slow seasons, or patterns? Maybe certain months always dip. Maybe certain periods spike. Once you see rough seasons, you can plan work and spending around them. You stack higher effort projects before known slow periods. You don't commit to new fixed costs right before a historically weak month. You let the calendar, not your feelings, guide big moves. Over time, you can also aim to build multiple income streams that don't all rise and fall together. Maybe one is more seasonal, another is steadier. The goal isn't a perfect mix, it's that when one line dips, another is at least stable or rising, and the buffer smooths the rest. The psychological edge here is huge. When your bills are covered by your personal salary, you negotiate differently. You're not begging for work, you're choosing work that fits your strategy. You raise prices more confidently because you're not terrified of one no. You're willing to walk away from bad clients and bad deals. A big trap to avoid. Using a few great months to lock in permanent obligations like a more expensive apartment, new car, or subscription stack that assumes those great months never stop. That's how people weaponize volatility against themselves. Another trap is taking every downturn as proof that you're failing. In a variable system, dips are normal. The question isn't, did my income dip this month? It's, did my system protect my lifestyle while it dipped? So here's your quick exercise. By tonight, write down 3 numbers: your current salary number, your buffer target in months, and one clear rule for what happens with surplus above the buffer. Once those are written, you're no longer reacting to unstable income. You're running a system around it. The real win with unstable income isn't forcing it to be stable. It's using buffers and a fixed salary to make your lifestyle stable anyway. As Warren Buffett said, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. If this helped you decode the hidden rules of variable income, subscribe for more.
See you in the next one.